Welcome to another awesome day of FileMaker training. I'm Richard Carlton. I've been called in like the baseball AAA baseball team is like, the pitcher is down. I've been called back in on emergency relief status because Nick Hunter is sick. Today is an open Q&A, but we have some questions that have already been sent to us. We're going to work on that momentarily.
Okay, how do you sort a field by a value list in ascending or descending order? I have encountered an issue when trying to sort a field according to a value list in descending order. I have a value list tied to the field, and I want the values to appear in descending order when the list is displayed. How do you do this?
Yeah, I mean, this gets back to sort orders, things like that. If you want to go into layout mode, Margaret, and do you have a pop-up on that layout anywhere at all?
I don't actually know if we have one of those on this. What?
Just put one on there real quick, Margaret. You get the ad hoc it real quick. Let's go.
Okay. Yes, okay. So
No pressure.
where do
Take
you
a field, duplicate a field, so we can get rid of it later on.
delete?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Right.
Oh, that. Okay. Command Z. Stop. You're about to do. Okay. Here we are doing the thing. Command Z. This is great. Command Z. Put it back. Now go up to your on the left side says objects. Yeah. And then click hide.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So now it's hidden. Will stay hidden until your session closes or you bring it back.
Okay.
Okay. Can you put it back on, or just can you duplicate the layout real quick? Just duplicate
No, I duplicated the layout. The layout.
Oh, we are?
No, that's why I'm so hard with it. This is not my layout. Okay. I already did this. You will notice the delete me up in the top corner over there.
Oh, good. Perfect. Okay, great. So click top so that you click on it once. Yes. You're going to go to the data option on the right inspector. Right inspector.
Oh, I see. On the inspector. Okay. Yes.
Click, once selected, that one, data right there is that one, okay? Then if you go down, you have control style, and you select a control style so you can see the value list. How about that? So we have a pop-up menu or a drop-down, yeah. So then you have a value list, right? So then, yes. Okay, right?
Yeah, I'll pick one and see if there's anything.
Okay. Yeah. So the other thing is you can, what am I spacing on this? Where's the sort for this at? Because you can customize.
Right here? Because I clicked the little button, the little right here.
Yeah, and hit that, and then just go into pick. Yeah. So you get it from a field. Yeah, click on the field, right? Yep. So you could go into a field, identify the field, and then below. Just doesn't matter. Just hold for a second. You go down below. Does it have sort values right there? So you can sort by the first field or by the second field, and you can resort values based upon the index, I guess, right? What language it is, right? That's but the idea is that you can, if you want to control, you have a custom sort order, but that's applied at a script level, which doesn't apply to the value list. Yeah, you'd have to play with that a little bit. This is one where you want to build, Margaret, your sample file here sucks. We need more of a clinically easy sample file that we can play with.
FMSP.
Nah, it's too late to set that up for the show. So we're half over. So yeah, scroll, pick a different option down there.
Preliminary.
Okay, so those are static, right? Go ahead or double edit it. Don't. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Nope. Sorry. We're going.
Because there's no sorts buried in there, right? You hit that, right? So then these are static list, doesn't sort. Yes. Okay. The only way it's going to sort is if you use a value from another file or values from the current file. So click that one. This is the thing. The values, yeah. And then when you start going through a relationship is when. Yeah, you don't want to do that on live TV, and that's include all the values, right? Only show the related values, which is that has to be pre-cooked and pre-practiced to make that work correctly.
Yeah.
Under pressure when you're on TV. Yeah. So then you have sort. You can sort it by the first value or the second field, but if the fields it's going to sort alphabetically. So you go ahead and click on that, or just pick a field, Margaret. Click a sort. Okay. You want the second option to show up, so
I want also display values from a second field, and we're going to do created.
Okay. Yeah, so then it says only show values from the second field or sort. How do you want to sort it? First field, from the first or second. When you sort it from the first or the second, go and now click on the resort down below. Yeah. What does that do? I think that's just the index. That's just the index. So normally for most of us it would be English or whatever native language you prefer. So you're going to have to kind of jerry rig and recook a sort order that you want to get it to push through here.
Interesting. I did not think it would be this complicated, actually, until
That's probably why it's a good question. I'm sure this is a sample file. People have solved this 100 different ways, different times, different ways. Let me see. I think you could sort of feel by either value list, ascending, descending in the script. You can't do both. Yeah, that's the rub. You can sort it, but we're talking for Goblin Jerky 23, we're talking about you sort, so you run a script, you sort it, but how it's sorted will not affect how it's displayed in a pop-up value list elsewhere. I don't think it has any bearing. I think those are totally, utterly disconnected items.
So what is the pop-up value list dependent on? Like record date creation? Like
yeah, no, it would be alphabetical or numeric order ascending, right? Yeah. Okay. So you'd have to have a table where you actually you have the raw data, and then you have the a table where you've pre-cached it, Margaret. Like say you have.
Oh, okay. So you would have the data be transferred over in the order that you want to be seen.
Yes.
The information from that table.
Yes.
That's a
pain in the ass. Yes, but it's actually. But to be honest with you, you doing that might solve a problem that people have, right? It's important to understand that they're like people say, oh, I want this data to be always sorted, and I want the context of my database always to be sorted by some, and it will always be sorted that way because I am God. And I'm like, okay. And so when you get that from someone, as long as they're willing to pay for God mode to code it, what you have to do is you have to dump the data or move it from table A, sort it, and then reload it back, either import, export, or run a bunch of set field commands, script steps in the back, or that scripts that are going to reload the data and create it natively in the correct order so it displays correctly. Because anytime you see a sort in FileMaker, it is it's like if I could put a Halloween mask on my face. It's all fake. It's all make believe. It's not real. It might look real. I might put on one of those like really authentic, like Donald Trump faces or something, whatever. And it's like they're like, "Wow, you look really real." Like, great, but it's not real. I cannot wear that, so it comes off, which means it's temporary. A sort is always temporary. You have a sort. You quit FileMaker, reopen FileMaker, the sort's gone. It's always temporary. It's a fundamental. Those are good ones because you're cross-referencing like the internal mechanics of FileMaker against how you might manipulate the mask. Like when we have open FileMaker and we do a found set and we do a sort on it, that's a mask. I mean, it might seem real. It acts real. It doesn't go anywhere. But if you quit FileMaker or your system, once again, you lose your session, you reopen it, it doesn't restore that. It removes the mask and throws it in the trash, gone. So it's a very temporary mask. The fact that FileMaker for me is, hopefully for most of us, pretty reliable, doesn't crash that often, right? So, I mean, it doesn't really crash. I'm more likely to do something stupid and blow the computer up than I am than FileMaker is to crash.
100 loops.
Whatever that was you, right? You did
yeah,
that?
that was me. I made the server really mad at me. Correct.
Yeah, 100 loop, Margaret. Can you sort descending? Okay, this is from David. And can you sort? Oh, he says you can sort descending, export, purge, and import. Yeah, Dave. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about we're talking about taking the data, and you can have the original data, then you have maybe the altered table, an identical table, but it's sorted differently.
Yeah.
Or you could take it out of the one table and then export it, and then delete the table, purge it, run the truncate table command or whatever, and then reload it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, once again, doing stuff like that can get it. I mean, if it's really important for the person paying you and they're paying you, then yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Most people I know are not unwilling to want to write a check to pay for something because they think that FileMaker or any database system should do that fundamentally because they know how the world works and should work the way I want it to work, right?
Yeah, no, computers are mostly magic to 90% of the population.
Well, they find that out the hard way. No, they think, I mean, it's like the guy at Big Valley Aviation, the helicopter. He had his mechanics. He's the boss. He's the big boss. He's in the office, and his mechanics are working on the database. They've added a record. They locked him out. I said, well, your mechanic locked you out of the database. They can't lock me out. I'm the boss. I'll fire them if they lock me out. I guess I could have tried to explain it better, but I didn't want to have the conversation to explain to him that you might be the boss. I just bobbed my head up and down and agreed with him and said, yeah, it's a good point. We'll work on that. That's how we solved that problem. And that led to the plugin and the 180 seconds and the whole thing. Great things come from sometimes blatant hammer smashing, right? I am the boss, smash the Thor hammer down, right? I'm glad to be back, and you'll see me a lot more in the future.
Yes, no, thank you, everybody. Have a good one, and bye-bye.